What is going on, Edison duelists? So, other day, my teammates and I were hanging out in voice chat, and we just decided to do a little Iron Man team battle between us. For those of you who don't know, what an Iron Man is basically you form two teams, then members of each team define an order, first of all, of which players are going to play in what order. Then they play each other. Whoever wins advances and keeps going. Whoever loses is out. And you just keep doing that until one of the teams is dead and only one remains. So it's pretty simple. We didn't really want to do like a ranked thing or anything, so we just decided to make it casual, and we all brought like weird jank decks that we'd been brewing. I built this in like 15 minutes beforehand. Obviously, this sort of setup is kind of not an even playing field because I play exclusively jank, whereas my teammates play real decks. So, a bit of an unfair advantage. In my defense, I did not think of this idea to do it this way, though. It was someone else. So, yeah, what I brought was this Neo-Spatian Rescue Cat build. I'd been wanting to make a deck with Grand Mole and Rescue Cat, with Giant Rat and Rescue Cat. And Rat will get Grand Mole, and Cat will get Dark Panthers. So it's like, whoa, so much synergy, right? I mean, crazy. Plus, Convert Contact will fill up your grave, or Pot of Avarice, and it's just, wow, look at all this amazing stuff going on. So yeah, I don't know if the deck's that great. Like I said, I just built it really quick. It was just for a fun thing, but the matches were a lot of fun, and the deck was fun, so I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. So anyway, without further ado, let's hop right in. Okay, so here we are with the matches. First one I played was Fenn. I think she was playing some weird, like, Dark World deck or something. It's definitely not optimal. So she's going to go first. Sets a couple, just gets blown out by heavy. I go Card Trooper, attack. Yeah, my hand's pretty solid. So she's going to do Dark World Lightning to summon Silva and hit over my guy. I draw. Oh, we find Cat. That's dirty. Yeah, we have Cat Mindcon. Kind of wary of ripping cards since I know she's on Dark World, though. I think I just don't even attack with the Zerbelm. Which, yeah, I mean, maybe I should have, because I had Stardust out. Oh, no, I do attack with it. Okay. Yeah, never mind. I'm crazy. So we rip a card. We hit with Stardust. We're in a pretty strong winning spot. She goes Drag down. Just draws a bunch of back row that don't do anything. Or don't do enough, rather. But we're just going to go Brio. My Stardust will get D-Prison, so she does play her way out of that one, but she draws MST, which doesn't do anything, and then we just go for game. So, yeah, pretty easy game one for me. Kind of feels like my deck's just better than this weird Dark World build. We just pass. Then she doesn't respect Gores. Even though she had Drag down in hand, I guess she could have gone for it if she suspected. So she's going to drop Sidra, set. I blind space one. I go search the pesky boy. Okay, this is a cool play. You can copy Sidra with Dark Panther and then make Fortress, which is pretty neat. I switch Gores to play around Mirror. Then I don't attack with Arabelm, which probably the right choice because she had a Silva in hand. She goes Drag down. I Crow the Silva, though. And then, as you can see, she's got Morphing Jar set, so here's where I get sacked. Yeah. We go Grand Mole, try to bounce, but there's a D-Prison or something. Yeah. I feel like I switch Fortress to defense way too much, forgetting that it has 0 defense. But, yeah, she's going to flip Morphing Jar. Yeah, this is really bad. This is not good. The worst part about all of it is she drew into Deck Dev, and now I'm going to get, like, 3 cards ripped out of my hand. So, yeah, I scoop on that. So we're actually going to game 3 here. My hand's pretty solid. We have Convert Contact live, and we draw Dust Shoot. So she spaces it, and I chain it. This is why I always hold Dust Shoot, by the way. You gotta, like... Because, like, the risk-reward of going for that blowout play is just very stacked in your favor, I think. It's like... The risk of holding Dust Shoot is usually not that great. But the chance that they might just randomly use back row removal on it and, like, lose the game right there, it is, like, not 0. It's relatively high. So yeah, Dust Shoot was basically an FTK here. Like, I know everything she has, and I'm just ripping her hand apart. I know it's all spell traps, so I don't have to worry about hitting Dark Worlds. She finds a Thunder King, and then starts griefing my replay. So she negates with Thunder King. I go Sork, just trying to finish her off here. So here she has to crash and drop her own Sork. Banish mine. I go Minecon to get rid of it, attack with Sangan. And then she draws heavy and continues to keep griefing my replay. Now I start griefing my replay. Okay. But this is game over. So thank you, Fenn, for summoning your entire extra deck. Very, very, very helpful for this recording. Anyway, let's move on to the next match, up against Snack. Snack, I think, is playing this 60 card like Monster Mash crazy thing with Samorg. So I didn't realize what she was on at first. So I kind of make these weird throwy play in game one. It's so strange. Like, I knew she had the Samorg, but then I don't set any of my cards. It was a very strange play. Yeah, I should not have done that. I guess she found Cold Wave anyway, but she wouldn't have been able to Black Rose me or anything. So here I'm just trying to dig for stuff, but I don't find anything, and I can't set my back row, so I just lose. That was a massive throw, but we open Dust Shoot again. We get another shot at this. This time I hit the Sidra, which was probably wrong. Again, I feel like I hit the wrong monster with Dust Shoot both times. Should have hit like Ryza or something. So she kills the rat, I just go cat. Make Goyo take the Sirocco, rip a card, but the card I rip is Vayu, so if anything, I kind of helped her there. Just make Colossal, fire Avarice. Pretty easy to get Avarice online in this deck. So she makes a misplay here. Should have just gone Black Rose with the Sidra Plague. So now she can't out my stuff, and I have game with Brain Control. So yeah, that's going to be game 2. Game 3, I might finally not sack her with Dust Shoot, so yeah. I think she does set the Raikou here. So instead I'm going to be sacking her with Mind Control. Much better. Unfortunately, like, her entire hand can get ripped by Airball. So she drops Gores first to increase the chance, and then I hit the Dandy. So, like, every card in her hand just wants to get discarded anyway. I just go Catastor, set some cards. Figure no sense playing around heavy, because it's one heavy and 60 cards. I do have to Torrential to avoid getting Black Rosed, which kind of sucks. She goes Grepher Prio with Night Assailant, which is pretty neat. I decided to just bottomless it. I don't think she's going to be able to make any kind of played out this Airbellum, so I just want to keep tempo on my side. I find Dark Panther, which is not the worst draw here. It's something I can summon. So we rip a card. I forget if I make a 6 here. Oh, she forgot to add back for Night Assailant. And then she decides to Necro Gardener, since there's a 1 in 3 chance I'll hit the Raikou. So we just go Brio and start getting really aggressive because I think her hand is dead. And, yep, it's gonna work out in my favor. So, yep. Okay, so originally I'd planned on splitting this video into 2 parts, but I think we can fit all of these matches into one video. So that's what we're gonna be doing for now. I'm up against Fitz. Fitz is playing, this weird, like, Dark Creator zombie deck with Despair from the Darks and Trade-In. So here, I open a pretty sick opening hand. I have a lore into Convert Contact, so we're going to be, drawing cards here. I just go set. Fitz's hand is not the worst. He has a Trade-In he can resolve. Apparently there's a Diva in here. So he goes for Book of Life and just hits. I go Rat. I decide to get Grand Mole. He just really hates Grand Mole, so he's going to Brain Control to get rid of it with this Diva and sync off. I don't use my Bottomless here, which is interesting. Didn't use my Bottomless at any point here, which is interesting, honestly. I guess I figure I have, like, Brain Monk. So I use Brain to take the Catastor and just sync with it, and then Colossal will trade with this Spare and kill the Diva. So he just passes, which is a bold choice against a deck that plays Arabellum. So we just hit in. He plays it risky with the Gores, and it will pay off, because he gets to summon the big Gores now. The big token, anyway. So he's just going to try to hit over my Arabellum, which I'll allow. Set the Plague. I have Armonite. This is still not 3 darks. This is 2 darks. Okay, we're really close to 3 darks, though. Hopefully this dad will come down at some point for me. He draws Mally, which sucks. Just goes over my Armonite with a token. Then he's going to bring back Plague, Tribute, Sync for Dark End. I Bottomless. And it turns out I misunderstand how this works. Apparently, Dark End needs to have the stats actually change on the field with him face up. So he will not resolve if he gets Bottomless here. So he just goes Mally to defend himself, sets return. I think I just have 3 darks now, though. So I just drop the dad and win the game. The face down's RFDD, which he has to use to survive. But I also have Monk Spell. So that's just going to be it for game 1. So yeah, pretty solid win for me there. Game number 2, he goes first. He's got the deck dev. His hand's not great, but he can get this deck dev live pretty easily, so that could potentially be a blowout for him, though my hand is not that weak to deck dev. So we just go... Oh, we draw a second Panther, though. We hit in. We get to rip a card, but he drops Trag. Set. So he attacks with Trag. I mirror. He changed the deck dev, obviously. I decided to just Solemn here. I'm like, nah, I don't want to deal with that. He goes Zombie Master. So we're going to sync for Goyo, take the Zombie Master. So now there's no Zombie Engrave. The Book of Lives are both dead. He will go for Armonite. I think he might make a Goyo of his own. Yeah, he goes for Book of Life. Banishes one of my Arabellums and then takes back his Zombie Master. So I copy Zombie Master with Dark Panther. Oh, pretty cool. Maybe I should have kept it in hand for Convert Contact, but I felt like I wanted to get aggressive because I have Dad again. So we can get a 3rd Dark into play here, potentially get off Dad. So I'm going to steal the Zombie Master back. I'm not going to use it though, because Dad's the only monster in my hand. I don't want to keep that. He draws another Book of Life? Does he play 3 of these? Wow. Alright, so he's going to Book of Life, banish one of my Dark Panthers. This kind of hurts my game plan. He's going to play the 2nd Book of Life. He just forgot to banish. What? He should have banished one of my monsters there. Okay. So he goes Colossal, but I just have the Pesky Boy. Man, that's unfortunate. He's down bad. But he does have the Dark Creator here. He can try to do something. I draw the Crow. I just pitch it and drop Dad, because I could have done that. If he had banished my Dark Panther, I couldn't have done that. I would have had to play it differently, but I think I was way ahead at this point, so it probably wouldn't have mattered. So we go 2-0 versus Fitz's weird trade-in Dark Creator zombie deck. Finally, we have Maple. This is going to be the last match. He was playing some kind of owner seal thing with Lava Golem and all that stuff. So we can just make Dad live with this hand, which is hilarious. So we just do it, and we kill the field, and then we summon Armonite, we go in, set our cards. So that was kind of a blowout opening for me. But he's gonna Lava Golem me. At this point, I'm like, what the hell are you playing, dude? I draw the DD Warrior. This is only in the deck to be a Garnet for Rhoda and Giant Rat. He tries to stop me with the Scrap Iron Scarecrow, but I have the Judgment, obviously, so that's gonna be the end of game 1. We just kind of blew him out there. There was no chance. Just dropping Dad turn 1. So he goes a similar opening. I'm just gonna set 1 pass. He spaces. Now I'm the one griefing my replay with all this hand shuffling I'm doing. Okay, so he just passes. I draw Convert Contact, which I use. Then we go in. He has the Scrap Iron, which is problematic for me. So I'm like, Monk. I just try to Black Rose here. Okay. He has the Fiendish, though, so I just chill. I get really cocky and decide to Judgment here. Normally, I never use my Judgment like this, but In this game is we're not really taking these too seriously, so I'm just like, fuck it, we're doing it. But yeah, I prefer saving judgment for when they make an actual play that like does something rather than just trying to gamble that I can brick my opponent. I think that's a very, very bad use of judgment in 90% of situations, unless you like know their hand, or maybe if you're against like Dragon Turbo or Lightsworn or something like that. But most of the time I would not do that. So I go Armisen Plague. I think we're gonna go Brio. Okay, yeah, because this puts a third Dark for Dad, but then he has the Fader. Okay, so I just banish it. He's just setting cards. But I'm going to be able to mill another Dark with Card Troopers, so this will still be lethal. So I think with that swift little 2-0, we have won. I was summoning Dark Arm Dragon a lot in these games. So yeah, that was the end of the Iron. I kind of just swept everyone. Like I said, though, we were all just playing nonsense, not taking it too seriously, in a very, very unlevel playing field for an event, or not really an event, just for a little casual team battle that we were doing, just having us play like a bunch of jank that we threw together. Obviously, that's kind of my specialty, so yeah. But I thought the matches were cool. I thought the deck was cool. I had a lot of fun, and yeah, so that's just going to be the end of this one. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.